Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today on it's honestly quite a hot day here in the UK. You know, hold on. Let me see what the weather is like right now. I mean, obviously it might not be hot compared to wherever you may live. But it went up to about, let's see, about 27 degrees today. Celsius, that is. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Maybe it says in here. Google, what's this in Fahrenheit? It does not say. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so I'm going to guess that is around 80 or so. I don't know if that's quite how the scale works. I've no concept of how much Fahrenheit is, but let's see. Oh, it's about 80.6 exactly, so there you go. Anyway, hey everyone, right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:56 PM on Wednesday, June 15th, 2022. Halfway through June. Yeah, you know, I had a whole spiel about opening or not opening my window last time, whatever. But this time, I did have it open, but, you know, I closed it because some people are outside. It actually startled me because one of them just went, ah, and I was like, what on earth was that? I thought someone was actually injured, but no, they were just outside, you know, doing whatever, and I'm not here to intrude in their conversations. Their life is their life, and my life is my own, as most things go, I suppose. But hold on, that sounds a lot more like callous than I meant. But more the case of, you know, they probably don't need their whatever recreational conversations being broadcasted to and uploaded to YouTube or whatever see fit. But no, that's not really a point here. What are we going to talk about today? I don't really know. I suppose we could talk a little bit about... No, I'm not actually going to talk about The Quarry, but basically, of course, the one and only YouTuber that I actually watch, Northern9, has been... Not recently, but a couple of days back, I'm a bit behind on the VODs, has been playing through a game called The Quarry, which is... what's the company called? Is it Supermassive Games? I think the people who do Until Dawn, the people who are doing the Dark Pictures Anthology, etc., etc., etc. This is like this is not one of the installments of the Dark Pictures Anthology, which is a separate thing. This is basically kind of like a sequel, quote, to Until Dawn. Not a sequel as in it doesn't carry on the same story, but it's in the same, you know, it's the same sort of line of games, I suppose, in that thing. And yeah, he was playing through it. I started watching it, and then, you know, instead of watching the rest of his Let's Play, I ended up watching someone else play through, not someone else play through games, there's someone who, like, no commentary, played through the game and got everyone, spoilers because people can die, I suppose, in this game, and got everyone to survive, just because I want to see what, like, the actual story is, just so I can have a frame of comparison to actually watching Northern9 play. And of course, in my usual stuff, I watch things on double speed, you know, copious amounts of skipping, just to get the general gist of it, and then watch it, you know, properly when I actually want to properly watch it. Which, you know, I mean, it's the thing I've spoken about with my friends before, not like in huge detail or anything. It's not like the most interesting conversation I'll have, you know, but sort of just like my habit on watching things on 2x speed. Isn't I mean, putting it on like a habit just seems like I don't know, like it's a reprehensible thing or something. It's not really. It's just like when I watch YouTube videos, I just watch them on 2x speed. I don't know when I started doing it, but I'm sure I'm sure it was born out of a need of efficiency or something, and to basically just sort of be like, you know what, I should watch this on 2x speed so I can consume 2 times the amount of like media or whatever at the same rate. And you might be like, hey, you know, recreational media and things you consume don't need to necessarily be it's not like a race against time or anything like that. You should enjoy it at the own pace that you want. And, you know, I think that's very fair, and there's a lot of truth to that to a certain extent as well. But, you know, I just like watching things at 2x speed, I suppose. I still get the same amount of information most of the time, so... And if anything, now I've just gotten kind of used to it. Now if I mean, it's not like I don't watch things on 1x speed. Sometimes I do watch things on 1x speed. It's not like my brain, you know, the human brain is rather adaptable. It can adapt to both situations. But, you know, sometimes when I'm watching things and it's not on 2x speed, like a voice crack there. When I watch something which I usually watch at like 2x speed, and I watch it at 1x speed, I'm like, wow, it feels so slow now or something for some reason. Not for some reason. Obviously, it's because now I'm watching at like half a speed or whatever. It's not really so. It's just like how things move in real life. And honestly, there's not really much consequence on that, really. Like, if I really want to savor something, I'll watch it on 1x speed. If I'm just like, you know, I kind of watch it just, I want to get like a general idea of what sort of happens, but I'm not like, I don't need to save or anything. I'll watch it on 2x speed. Like I say, I do it for anything which seems rather long. Like, obviously for any TV shows, I'll watch it on 2x speed. which might surprise you. Movies I might watch on 2x speed if it's on something which has a playback feature which actually has 2x speed. Actually, interesting, anime I don't watch on 2x speed, mainly because anime I'm not quite fluent enough in Japanese to hear. Well, even if I was fluent enough in Japanese to listen to it and then like have it like translated and make sense in my head in English, I definitely could not do that at 2x speed pace. That was far too fast. So a lot of times I had to read with subtitles. In which case, you know, I can't read at 2x speed compared to, you know, compared to me listening and like looking at 2x speed. So anime I don't watch, or I guess anything in a different language I don't watch in double speed. Wait, does the lava makes a splashing noise when you walk on it? That seems a little bit dangerous, if anything. It does, that's very strange. But it's mostly just, you know, when I watch YouTube videos or Twitch or something like that. Namely, Northern9. Again, he's not the only YouTuber I watch, but like Drawfee, I used to watch a little bit in Critical Role. Used to watch him on 2x speed. And then when I got to like moments which were really intense, and it's basically, you know, it's sort of my relationship with things of recreational videos that I tend to consume and that sort of thing. I tend to have them on a sort of like, not background noise, but like a background process to whatever I'm doing mainly at the moment. So I put it on 2x speed. I don't know, my brain sort of subconsciously picks up on what's going on, but it doesn't need to necessarily concentrate the entire time, and I suppose 2x just, I don't know, helps me get through it to a certain extent. Or I guess it's kind of counter to what I was saying, like opposite to what I was saying. I also do it for things which I want to concentrate kind of on, but I'm like, it's also really long, and I'm like, I want to get through it like ASAP. Well, not ASAP, but like, might as well do it with some sort of haste. Or is it speed, I even say? Is it less haste or more speed, less haste? I forget. Wait, hold on. More speed, less haste, more haste, less speed. I don't remember which way around it is. One of my maths teachers, he used to always say it, and it stuck with me, except I obviously didn't stick with me that well, because I don't remember which way around the actual saying goes. So yeah, but now you know, now I think about it, because obviously I don't watch TV shows very often. I don't watch things in series very much, because I just don't tend to be perfectly honest. But nowadays, you know, especially with like, I don't know how Maris Bennett keeps getting brought up, but when I watch that, of course, I watch it with double speed, and like with copious amounts of skipping, which I guess is kind of like going up to like a 3x speed or a 4x speed, quote. YouTube doesn't unfortunately natively have that as a thing. Maybe I could get like a Firefox extension for it, I don't actually know. But I suppose now it's sort of like, I'm so used to 2x speed, now my brain can process it at 2x speed. In fact, it feels like normal. So I'm like, now if I want to watch things quickly, and I'm like, I need a 4x speed or something to just like zoom through it. Which is, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing necessarily. I'm sure it might mess up with my perception of pacing of how things go necessarily. Which is also, I think, a consequence of why I tend to talk quite quickly in these YouTube videos, is I'm just very used to consuming YouTube videos themselves at double speed. So I tend to sort of, when I'm trying to recreate what I like about them in certain aspects, I tend to speak at double speed as well. So, you know, I should take a moment to sort of slow down my speech and that sort of thing. You know, there's no need to rush through this sentence. Allow myself to talk at my normal speed so people can understand what I'm saying, you know, and enunciate. And plus, speaking at a slower speed is better as well when you're actually trying to speak a bit more fluently, because you have a time to actually process what you're going to say, the words as they come out. You can filter them, I suppose, rather than just sort of having to rapid fire machine gun them out and just say literally the first thing which comes on phrasing, which comes to mind. And you know, that just has a lot less hesitation. It feels a bit more smooth, all that good stuff. So, you know, it's, you know, this is just a lesson to myself of speaking a bit more slowly. Because it is a thing that I wasn't super consciously aware of, perhaps because I was just used to hearing things at double speed when I listened back to my videos. You know, you might find it funny, I listened to my own videos on double speed as well. So, you know, I guess that's kind of like 4x speed compared to the average person or whatever. So when I listen back to my normal videos, I'm just like, oh, you know, that's just like normal speaking. When really it's like I'm speaking far faster than I really have any need to, and can take the effort to slow down. But it wasn't like, you know, some people comment being like, you speak fast or something. No, what was the comment? I'm trying to remember. Apologies for that little pause, but hopefully it was in the loading screen, so you didn't even notice. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, no, it was about someone who left a comment No, wait, hold on. It was like I was mentioned in someone else's Let's Play of Vitalis Principle by someone who's watched my Let's Plays, and when someone else who also watches my Let's Plays also watched their Let's Plays and saw that comment and was like, whoa, look, you were mentioned, and my description was like, oh, you know, dear darling, she started playing Vitalis Principle. And I don't remember what else the comment said, but I was just the thing that stuck with me. Well, not stuck with me. That makes it sound like a bad thing. But I was like, oh, you know, and I didn't realize it did. I was just like, oh, dear darling, just be warned, she talks very fast. And I was like, you know what? I guess I do talk kind of fast in these videos, especially. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's, you know, my personal flair, my niche, I suppose, is I talk fast. I mean, it's sort of like. I suppose it is, but it'd be much more sensible, I think, to just, you know, slow down my talking a little bit so other people can enjoy what I'm saying without having to skip through randomly or like miss parts and pieces. Not that what I'm saying particularly has much of like an influence or much weight, and I am sort of just like filling with silence, I guess. I mean, filling with silence isn't a really good way to put it, because I guess I'm the only one here, right? I suppose usually you know, I'd be reacting to a game or what have you, but you know, Animal Crossing there's not really all that much to react to, I suppose, anymore. It's just sort of the plain old same old stuff that you've come to love and expect from just a game all about relaxing. So yeah, double speed. I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly when I started watching things in double speed. You know, it might have actually been because of Critical Role. Because normally, I mean, I've talked about my aversion to, I mean, maybe not aversion's the right word, but you know, I tend to not really watch TV shows and movies, and part of the reason is certainly because I'm just like, oh, if I'm gonna watch this, it's gonna take up like 16 hours of my time or something. And you know, when I go through like the cost-benefit analysis of my own recreational time or something like that, I'm just like, I don't know, do I want to commit to a TV show or something like this like that? And, you know, a lot of the time the answer is no. But sometimes the answer is yes, especially if it's a show with like good animation or whatever, or really engaging characters or something I've really been recommended. But even those which I have been recommended, I still haven't watched. I don't know why, you know. It's part of the reason why I tend to favour video games and that sort of thing. Even if it's a video game which is heavily story focused, something about the fact that I'm controlling the character feels and makes it far more engaging to me personally, rather than watching a movie, even if the movie is far more impressive visually. That's not always the case, you know. I mean, even when I watch TV shows and movies, but it's not been many that I've regretted watching, I'll say. It's just more like that starting hurdle to be like, hey, am I going to sit down here and watch, you know, commit like 30 hours or something to watching this TV series? Maybe not. There really needs to be a big drive for me to watch in the first place, which is normally why I watch animated movies, if anything, because I'm just like, oh, I kind of want to see what the animation is like in this one. but nowadays, I suppose I don't really watch it so much unless not just because it's animated, and unless the animation is, in essence, actually quite good. Which, you know, I suppose usually boils down to like Disney movies, doesn't it, nowadays? But that's not always the case. But anyway, I think it might have been because of Critical Role. Because if you don't know Critical Role, it's basically kind of like this D&D podcast run by a load of people who are voice actors and voice actresses. So they're rather good at sort of like the improv and putting and telling a story, etc., etc. And I started watching it. I don't remember why, because I got super into D&D for a little bit of a while. You know, I still do like D&D, but I'm not like as super into it. Mainly because I'm not playing a campaign or anything right now, I suppose. It's the mainest of all reasons. But if you don't know, Critical Role, at least Campaign 2, like in Campaign 1 also has a huge amount of stuff. They have like, I can't remember how long each episode is. It's like 3 to 4 hours or something like that. And there's like 100 and something of them. So, you know, obviously when I started watching them, I was like, wow, okay, so am I going to commit 500 hours or something to watching all of these episodes or something? Obviously that seems like quite a monumental task. So I'm sure at some point I was just like, you know, I'll just watch it on double speed. So, you know, at least it's half the time. Which it certainly is, but you know, 500 hours to 250 hours. Actually, that is a pretty reasonable like amount to cut down. That's like 10 days, or 11 days more like 11 days sort of straight. Well, actually, no, it's more like, it is more like 10 days. It's close to 10 days and it's 11 days straight of watching. Obviously, that's, you know, not very feasible because you can only, you know, really at max, you can only spend like 2/3 of a day, I suppose, watching something if you literally had no other requirements of, or expectations or responsibilities to do that day. I would highly not recommend doing stuff like that. you know, set yourself some time, some recreational time for yourself. You maybe like a couple of hours each day, depending on how much time you can free up yourself, and you know, you'll be good. You'll be good as gravy, probably. I forgot what I was saying. So that might be the reason I started watching things at double speed. I'm not really sure. But there's not really like anything else I can consume at double speed. But there's also not really many other things to consume at double speed. Like, I don't consume music at double speed. I suppose that one's because it's much more audially dependent on the tempo and the rhythm and that sort of thing, while the ratio between the notes and stuff like that and the rhythms don't get lost while at double speed. But I suppose the overall pitch and tempo, well, not so much pitch, but the overall tempo does get lost, which matters a lot less when, you know, compared to watching like a TV show or something where I suppose, I don't know, maybe the punchline comes twice as fast. But as I say, I don't really watch many TV shows or things with like coherent storylines, and you know, I tend to watch more like background noise sort of YouTube videos, aka, you know, Northern 9, as I say. And with that sort of stuff, it doesn't really matter, you know, if it's on double speed. The speed at which I consume the media doesn't really have much of an effect, or for good or worse, I suppose, on the media I end up consuming. So, you know, that's probably why. And you might ask, I suppose the natural question is, would you watch things on triple speed, I suppose? I think maybe, you know. I was actually thinking this, because sometimes I like to, I'm not subscribed to them, but sometimes I like to look at cracking the cryptic that YouTube channel there's like to, I assume they're both British, I don't know, I only watch Simon's videos, I'm going to be honest. Where he basically solves like sudokus, I suppose, but like really difficult ones with like very convoluted rules, etc. and stuff all weaving together, and you know, what have you. I like to watch his videos, and I was watching one recently and I was actually thinking to myself, I was like, man, I wish I was watching this on like 3 times speed or 4 times speed or something like that, because I was watching it on 2 times speed and I was like, it's just too slow. I don't know why. Maybe there's just something wrong with me. I wonder if that's why I like heart time lapses as well, or like time lapses in general. I was actually talking to a friend about this yesterday. I don't really watch all that many time like artisan videos, and you know, or that sort of thing. I said the only ones I tend to watch tend to be like food-based ones, of like street food, more because I'm like curious about the process, I suppose, rather than necessarily the coolness, I suppose, of watching it. I'm not really sure. Mainly because, you know, we were talking about like our recommended YouTube videos, and he had one where it was just like building a speedboat in like 40 days or something like that. I honestly can't recall. And you know, I was talking about the fact that I don't really watch those sort of videos, and you know, reflecting upon it or wondering why. I wonder if it's because, you know, I find them too slow for my tastes. You know, I like time lapses and that sort of thing, but these artisanal videos aren't like sped up time lapses or things that are going on. They tend to be just like a load of shots all cut together of what happens or what doesn't happen. I don't really know. I'm sort of trying to evaluate it for myself, as most of these Animal Crossing videos seem to end up being. Is this more like exploration of my own, I mean, psyche is not really the right word, but exploration of my own sort of ideas and thoughts on things. Yeah, it's not like I watch everything on 2 times speed. Like, I don't necessarily watch information videos on 2 times speed. Or it depends, okay. If I'm learning it, if it's something I'm learning recreationally, then yeah, I would watch it on 2 times speed. But if it's something which I needed to actually pay attention to, I would not watch it on 2 times speed. And also, I tend to find, hold on, let me have a sip of water, my throat is so dry. It's so hot today, but, you know, I'd dehydrate if I wasn't too careful. But no, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I've also forgot what underground mission I was doing. Oh, you know, the thing I tend to find when I'm actually watching these, actually, what underground mission can we even do? Deep sea diving, I guess, or customize stuff. I guess we'll do both of those. Take a picture. When I do tend to watch informational videos or videos where I'm like instructions or whatnot, you know, my initial reaction is to play it, of course, on 2 times speed, and you know, watch it on 2 times speed. But then, as it happens, you know, I can't necessarily consume information 2 times, or I can't necessarily learn things at 2 times speed, which, you know, is true in some things. It's not true in some other things. Not craft. So it ends up having me going back and like replaying what I was watching over and over and over again. But that's not always the case. It sort of depends, I suppose, I'm trying to think of a good example off the top of my head. I can't really think of one. The only example I can think of is when I was watching like the series about like Excel, you know, learning to use Excel, which I, you know, already could use reasonably well, but like learning more stuff about Excel, I suppose. That I watched on double speed, and I started out, you know, completely fine watching it on double speed, but then like when it got to newer stuff, well, which I'd never heard about before, you know, I ended up watching on like 1.5 speed. But it was also because that person tended to spoke rather quickly, from what I record as well. So I don't know, it was sort of like a give and take with all of it. Well, maybe give and take's not really the right word, but it's context dependent might be the better way to put it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I watched art tutorials as well, but those I've also watched on 2 times speed, and it also depends. Like, there was this Japanese YouTuber who does art stuff. You know, I brought him up before, where I started watching, because I was like, oh yeah, he's got like some like really nice tips and tricks and that sort of thing. I don't watch him anymore. He seems to be getting tangled up with the NFT business, which, and you know, I was like, I don't want any part of that, to be honest. But I watched his on double speed. But interestingly, he obviously he speaks Japanese. I wonder why I didn't watch it on 1 time speed, because just like anime, I suppose it's a sort of thing where I'd have to read with subtitles for to truly understand what he's saying a lot of the time. So I don't know. I guess because a lot of it was also time-lapse sort of videos. And you know, seeing as time-lapse has no audio, rather than just sort of seeing a process happen in the first place, I could watch it on 4 times speed and I'm fine with consuming it that way as well. So I suppose amusingly, I tend to speed up time-lapse videos themselves. And you might be like, do you watch your own time-lapse videos? Because you do your own like thumbnail art time-lapses? I actually don't. The only times I watch my own art time-lapses is if, you know, after I finish rendering it, I sort of just check it, see if there's nothing like I forgot to render, or any like big mistakes or anything like weird that happens in it. It happens a few times. Like sometimes I render a video and like there's weird artifacts. I think it actually, like, I can't remember which series it was, but there's one of the series where I kept rendering the videos. I rendered it like 5 different times, and these weird artifacts kept appearing when we rendered. I had no idea what was causing them, and I just went, whatever. Who cares? We'll just sort of leave them there. Mainly because I think it was the day where it was meant to go live, and I was like, you know, it's only black squares. It doesn't even cover up any of the art in the first place. It just like appears on the menu screen, or like the toolbars, but the interface, you know, there's nothing really wrong with it, I suppose, in the first place. Okay, let's buy some flowers and trees, so we can do those missions. I don't even know why I forgot we should be going through it and looking to see which Nook Mile furniture items I still haven't got. But alas, I have been a bit too lazy. I suppose what we could do is we could just literally buy one of everything in the Nook Mile terminal. That certainly would be an easy way to do it. But that also seems a bit, you know, boring. But we should at least do it at some point. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow if I remember to do it. But we should do it at least at some point so we can actually use those furniture items in Happy Home Paradise. Because it happened that I can't remember which customization it was, but I wanted cars. But it turns out model cars was something you had to purchase from the Nook Mile Ye Olde Shoppy, which I had never bought. So I had to use like toy cars. And I don't remember which one it was, I'm going to be perfectly honest, but it definitely happened. Yeah, I don't know. I feel quite tired right now because it is quite hot. It's quite stuffy in here, and especially because I got my window closed. It's very much heating up in my room. So maybe that's why I want to be much more, well, lethargic's the wrong word, but you know, slower pace today. Speak far more slowly, because you know, it's hot. When it's hot, you know, I feel like I slow down compared to when it's cold. I don't feel like I slow down at all when I'm cold. Yeah, but the heat affects me certainly a lot more than the cold does. I know, you know, people have their own sort of, hold on, which flowers are these? Cosmoses. Everyone else is affected by, you know, different extremes in temperature differently, but, you know, me certainly, I don't like a hot, stuffy weather, anything like that. I much prefer things being milder and cooler, and even colder, than I'd rather things be warm or too hot. But yeah, I guess I'll round it off this episode here. I don't really have much else to talk about, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I guess double speed or anything like that. Maybe I'll look to see if there's a Firefox extension to consume media at like 3 times speed or whatever. But you know, it's not really like on the forefront of my mind right now. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's farewell. So until next time. I forgot to wave. Bye bye for now.